Folks, this is number 15 of Hoss Chat. We've made it that far. We're still rolling. We're still slinging. We're showing up. We're showing up. That's all we can do. Folks, it's Nick here. You knew that because you're listening to Hoss Chat. And if you didn't know who I was, you probably wouldn't be watching this. But if you're new, welcome. Glad to have you. You know what? A lot of people like spreading positivity throughout the week to kind of, help you get over that hump and get you to the weekend. But you know what? This week I'm going to spread some hatred, if you will. I thought I would talk about some things that really piss me off, things that grind my gears, because there's things in life that really do grind my gears. And you know what? I'm a big proponent of complaining. If you complain, if you're anything like me and you like to complain, it's a nice thing to do. I mean, if you're known for complaining, that's a different ballpark. But you know what? Sometimes you can say, hey, I don't like this. And I think that's good. First thing I'm going to talk about that I hate car accidents. I don't like car accidents. I don't know many people that enjoy car accidents. And if you do enjoy car accidents, something is severely wrong with your brain. I'm not a doctor, but that's my diagnosis officially. I want to say when I was like probably about 12 years old, this is like a distinct memory that I've kind of retained throughout the years. My mom took me, my brother, and my sister to the zoo. And my dad was working that day, so he didn't come with us. So it was just, whole family went without dad. Sorry, Pop, you're still working there. And we go to the zoo, and, Toronto driving is just insanity. And my mom was making a left turn, and somebody had blown the red. Or sorry, she had an advanced turn, and somebody had blown the red on their oncoming side. And they actually hit our van. And the van flipped a couple times. And the paramedics had told us at the time that we were very lucky to not even be uninjured, but to actually be alive, because it was quite a serious wreck. And you can find the article somewhere. It's somewhere, because I'll never forget this. Right after the impact happened, and you kind of like you're running on adrenaline, you're kind of freaking out. I looked around, and there was a guy taking a selfie beside the car, and I thought, tremendous, thank you, man. And so the article is out there. Because it was that bad of an accident that it was in the news at the time. And everybody involved was fine. I think the only lasting impact is my mom. She had some glass that, from the broken window that went into her arm. But we were upside down. Like, we were removed from the car upside down. It was scary at the time. But we were all, thank God, unscathed and completely fine. And I remember my parents being really worried about us driving after, because I was 12, so I was coming up in a few years on driving. Then my older brother was a few years up on me. And my brother really isn't a big driver to this day. Like, he's got his license and stuff, but he doesn't really love driving. For me, I didn't care. I was right to it. I love driving. I've always loved driving. If anything, that just motivated me to drive properly. And that one sucked. And then, I mean, in terms of accidents and everything, that's probably the worst one I've ever experienced. More recently, though, this past week, I might have accidentally drove off the road. The temperatures and the weather here in Waterloo region in Southern Ontario have just been wild the past week. Really cold, like minus 20 wind chill, really, really chilly winds, a lot of snow. And I mean, that's probably not too off-brand for a normal winter or what we would have. It's just we've been so lucky the past few years to not have anything that's severe. But it's been really cold, and I was driving to work, and whoopsie daisy, I start kind of, it almost feels like you're hydroplaning across the ice. And so, you'll learn this in driver's school. You want to pump your brake, and you kind of turn out of the direction you're going to kind of correct the tires. And I did that, and it did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. So I started to kind of freak out a little bit. And I slowed my momentum. I was probably only going like 50 down this dirt road anyway. But I went right off the road, down to the ditch, and into some trees. And I wasn't moving that fast, so, my airbags didn't deploy or anything like that. But I was pretty shook up. I flew off the road, and I've never had that happen before. And I could say it wasn't too fun. I don't need to do it again. It's what it was. And I called my dad, and he showed up with a chain, and a farmer, thank goodness, was driving by at the same time. And so he threw a chain on his truck, and with the two little truck convoy, they pulled me right out of the ditch, and here I am. I'm still kicking. Truck's a little beat up a little bit, but that's okay. That gives you some street cred. That's what we'll go with to make myself feel better. The second thing that I had written down here in my notes for, talking about things I don't like experts, or self-proclaimed experts, that is. maybe you have a friend or there's like a coworker at work. Those are like some pretty common spots, I think, where you encounter people like this. And they just have to comment on everything you do or anything you say. And it's baseless to a point where it's like a power dynamic. They just want to make you feel inferior to them, whether it be like intellectually or maybe it's in a place of work, and they just want to make sure that they're in charge of you or whatever it is. I guess it's a little bit different at work, but similar concept. You just, maybe you're not even doing something wrong, you're just doing it differently than somebody else, and they have to comment on it to let you know. I think specifically about people like in life, everyone's got like a friend of a friend that you dread seeing, and you go to a party and you see them and you go, oh no. And they come over to you and they just like, they kind of bait you. They ask you what's going on with life. And as you're talking about life, they're just kind of mentally assessing you, and you can see it in their eyes. And they don't really care about what's going on in your life. I'm not saying they don't care about you, maybe. But what they're doing is they're trying to talk to you and kind of evaluate you, and then they give you kind of like their morality check, whether it be to your face or through other people. Like they only ask you how you're doing so that you give them the whole degree on your life, and then they have that as kind of artillery. Yeah, they have it as as kind of mud to sling later, maybe behind your back, or I don't know, depending on the person, maybe like right to your face, and it gives them some kind of satisfaction, maybe some kind of momentary fulfillment, just to make sure that they feel better than you. It's kind of that age-old concept of people don't really care about your problems. They just want to hear them because it makes them feel good that they don't have those. That kind of idea. And I'm not trying to paint a picture that everybody's like that's going to ask you about how you're doing or, what's going on in life, or maybe trying to ask you about what kind of problems you're having. But I have found there is a lot of people that are too quick to, kind of jump on the listening train when you're talking about maybe the bad things in life or things in life that they don't know, or maybe they don't have. And they just try to hit you with that kind of moral high ground that they've created. I'm trying to think of a specific example. I used to know a friend, I still know them, that when we would be at a party or something like that, they would always be very vocally sober, which is entirely fine. All the power to you. But then they would make comments to you about your drinking, or if you had a drink, and they would make comments as to how their lifestyle was superior to what we were doing, and how it was kind of silly that we were even indulging in that. Which, look, maybe you'll disagree with me. I think that's dumb. That's really stupid. Like, you can make that call to choose like a path of sobriety, all the power to you. But if, if other people are enjoying things in, hopefully a responsible manner, especially if people that are your friends, like you're out having a couple drinks, I don't see how you enjoying those couple of drinks, and it was, the person knew coming into going to the party there was going to be people drinking alcohol. I just don't understand why there needs to be that exchange where, there seems to be some kind of superiority. I don't know. I've had that a couple times in life, and it's just something that I don't even want to push back to the person. I don't even engage. You don't do anything. That's what's going to make that person feel like, I don't know, disgusting perhaps. Because they're just doing it because they want to get that one up on you, or they need that satisfaction of knowing that other people know about whatever it is that they're supposedly higher up about. But that's enough of that. I don't want to put too much negativity out, tongue twister, negativity out in the world. But I just wanted to put a couple things there that popped in my head, and I thought would be good for the Hoss Chat this week. Folks, February 1st, I'm still doing the Lancaster show at the Lancaster Smokehouse. It's the Nick Boardman and Friends show with openers Johnny Salvador and Courtney Wolf. It'll be a good time. I'll be backed up with my Boogie Boy band, Caleb Koo, Grady Kaplan, and Johnny Lantine, so it should be a good time. And I haven't announced 2024 dates yet outside of that show, but keep your eyes peeled because that's coming. Lots of fun new stuff is in the works behind the scenes. So we'll have a lot of that, maybe some stuff for you guys to see soon. But until then, keep watching Hoss Chat, and we'll talk to you very soon. Take care, folks.